There we go. Awesome, man. Well, hey, man, I really appreciate you taking the time to schedule this interview with us. Um, this is basically as we grow beyond copy and as we're setting up for the future and laying down foundations and kind of like trying to figure out where we have leaks or holes or, improving things to push things forward. Um, these interviews are really awesome for us as a kind of a way for having you guys help us help you kind of a deal. Um, and it really means a lot to me that you guys, everybody, whoever is going to participate has signed up. I really appreciate it. Like, I really appreciate you guys. And basically what's going to happen, man, is it's going to be a quick interview. Some take 15 minutes. So if you like want to talk more, you can. Takes about like 30 minutes at that point. But I have a list of questions and we'll go from there. Is there anything you want to say or you just want to get into it?
Nope. Let's get into it.
All right, cool, man. Awesome. So why did you join Beyond Copy?
Well, I guess like a bunch of others, I was in Andrew Tate's The Real World.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going through, the entire thing. I woke up at 5 a.m. before going to school and all that. I
Mm-hmm.
had to learn. I'm like, oh, I gotta become a copywriter, I gotta break out of the matrix, I gotta live the dream life and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And as I kept progressing through the lessons and just kind of sitting there in the real world, I found out like I wasn't really growing in any way. I wasn't growing. I wasn't developing any new skills, the
Yeah.
DIC, PAS, HSO. I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't really doing anything. I couldn't understand a lot of it. So I had a bunch of holes. It was kind of like building like a whole building without like the base and like parts of
Mm-hmm.
it missing. And like I couldn't piece together certain things like what a landing page was, what like a sales page was, what the purpose, how to write one, all that. Like it wasn't really that clear. But like after joining Beyond Copy, like all those things just become like it became extremely clear, like precisely, like I knew now, like I've never really written a sales page before, but if
Mm-hmm.
you told me to, I probably could,
Yeah.
which I
That's
know.
awesome, man. That's awesome. Okay, so then when you were joining Beyond Copy, what kind of problem were you trying to solve?
Well, like I said, like I like nothing to lose anyway, because like I know Kirill, we went to like the
Mm-hmm.
same school, and
That's awesome.
yeah, he said, bro, I've joined this, this new course. It's called Beyond Copy. I'm like, oh, okay, that's nice. And then he's like, dude, they go through this like woo-woo stuff and like they teach you all this like marketing, like this deep stuff. And I'm like, oh wow, cool. And then
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, it's only $20. What can I lose? And I sign up. I'm like, oh shoot, I can't leave this now, right? Like
Yeah,
it's giving so much value that you
yeah.
can't really leave it. Because like for the real world, paying like $50 or 150, how much ever you pay, like you
Mm-hmm.
don't really get that much in return versus like Beyond Copy, like $20. It's a steal.
Yeah. That's
Like,
awesome, man. That's awesome. That means a lot to hear that from you, honestly. So I really appreciate that. And so did you try any other courses before, or were you just from the real world only?
well, yeah, I guess paid courses, the real world, and then Beyond Copy. But like before, I'm like, okay, I gotta make some money. I don't know how to do this. Like Kirill, I know he's a copywriter. I'm like, okay, maybe I can try drop shipping. Try drop shipping. I gave up on that before I even started. I'm like, I need something that's sustainable, like I need something that I could do.
Mm-hmm.
And then, bounced around on YouTube, like learning some free tricks or whatever with copywriting. I'm like, but I
Mm-hmm.
need more than this. I can't just learn off free courses,
Yeah.
So I went into Andrew Tate's The Real World and I'm like, oh God, this is great, I'm learning from like what Andrew Tate will say, like, will make me a millionaire. And I'm like, wow,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna become a millionaire one day. But I guess joining BC, that was like the second ever paid group I joined was one of the best decisions of my life when it
That's
comes to
awesome, man. That's awesome. That makes me happy. So then since you had your experience with the real world, what did you expect when joining Beyond Copy? What were you expecting?
Well, I didn't really expect much because I'm like, oh, okay, because I didn't really know much about like copy in general. I'm like, okay,
Hmm.
there's a bunch of people offering courses out there. Maybe this is no different. Maybe it is different. I don't know. So I'm like,
Hmm.
maybe you gotta join because Kirill's making it sound like not like any other course I've ever heard of. Like, it's like some deep stuff. I'm like, okay, gotta join. 20
Yeah.
bucks, what do I got to lose? I can always cancel it whenever I don't want it.
Hmm.
Um, just bought into it and never really left it since.
That's awesome, man. That's cool. That's honestly really cool. See, like hearing your journey. and hearing how, I don't know if you've noticed, but it sounds like you're a sociology or a socio sociographic type of buyer where you like need to ping like your friends or your social group. So that's cool. That's
Yeah.
really interesting to see. So then what like if you could sum it up, what has been your big like takeaway from Beyond Copy? Like it could be an aha moment, it could be a lesson that clicked. What has been like your biggest takeaway from Beyond Copy and everything that you've learned so far?
Like what I've learned from like the calls and stuff.
From the call, it could be mindset, it could be something in passing, it could be something that you asked one of us and it just clicked.
Yeah.
Anything, anything.
Yeah, like coming in from like the real world where they teach you like a bunch of like intrigue, like curiosity, like use
Mhm.
this pill and lose like 50 pounds overnight or something like that, right? It's like this
Mhm.
wild claims and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um, but you know, coming into Beyond Copy, learning that it's more than just competing on claims. There's like selling on outcomes, which is like a big principle I use in my copy, right? Like
Mhm.
don't sell on features and benefits, sell on outcomes, write on outcomes. Um, that's a big takeaway for me, using like
Awesome.
imagining statements and all that.
Yeah.
Make them picture, make them live it, make them really want it, make them need it almost,
Yeah.
uh, which is something that beyond or that the real world never taught us because it's like, oh, intrigue based, DIC, PAS, HSO. You got to make them intrigue, click the CTA, buy your product, hopefully, low conversion rates.
Yeah. Wow. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Okay, so then what would be the biggest, what were your, since you kind of like, you know, Krill kind of, got you in and you were kind of like curious that way. What surprised you the most when joining Beyond Copy?
What surprised me? Um, Probably like for 20 bucks, I'm kind of getting all this value. Like it's not like any other random group that you kind of join and like I love how Beyond Copy, in general, like the group it's a small group of people. It's not
Mhm.
like the real world where it's like 200,000 people joining in and then like you can't like ask questions, nobody answers your questions, and it's like you're a speck in this entire like pixel art type thing.
Mhm.
And in Beyond Cop, it's only like a few members, like maybe 100, 200 members, I think. I'm not sure.
Mhm.
But with
Yeah.
that many members, like you get the help you need. You make like connections with some people. You get to know some people. Um, yeah, I hope that answered your question. What surprised me the most?
Yeah, man. I mean, these are all these questions you can say as much or as little as you want. They really just help us understand where you guys are at, where we need to like fill in holes and just really get to know you guys so that we can relay proper, like, so we can synthesize our thoughts together properly and make sure that they're easily digestible for you guys. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
I've heard like literally ranges of answers. So it's not, and even though I've only just started these interviews, there's not just like one answer I'm looking for. You know what I mean? Like I actually implore you just to just speak truthfully. Like I just got off an interview with Oretis, and yeah, he didn't hold back. He even told me like, oh, XYZ. I thought this about the page at first, and I was like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like he didn't hold anything back. So I I I implore you, just if you got something to say, bro, just let it out. So there's no right or wrong answer. There's just
yeah,
your answer.
yeah. I'm like that type of buyer, that requires like a bunch of testimonials. I need that testimonial page. I need to know that like it worked for others and like all that stuff,
Yeah,
like how real world applications, I guess.
yeah. That's awesome. That's cool. All right, man. So then, what do you think has been the biggest challenge that you faced coming into Beyond Copy?
The biggest challenge. Honestly, since all the like the material is pretty crystal clear, there's no
Mhm.
challenge within like the material or like what I'm learning on the calls. There's like no friction on that. Um, yeah. Honestly, at first it was just sitting down for the 3 hour calls. That was the hard part because like I couldn't sit down for like the 3 hour calls. I don't know why, but
Yeah,
like I guess I built up to it. Now I'm like sitting up for like the 3 hour calls whenever I'm on here. Like whenever I'm watching the recording, I'm like I piece it, but like I'm there. I'm watching. I'm attentive.
awesome.
Um, But really, there's nothing big like challenging that I think I did like happened after joining Beyond Copy.
That's cool. That's cool. That's good. Yeah, it sounds like you got a little bit of that TikTok brain, bro.
Yeah, like I never had TikTok before, but I was a pretty big YouTube addict, I guess, growing up.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, so then what are your thoughts on Beyond Copy as a community?
Like I said, I think Beyond Copy is it's a really I guess also would be like an understatement, but it's a really great community. Especially since it's a closely knitted and like small group, it makes it way easier to ask questions, get your responses, get to know
Mhm,
more people. Like we can ask you guys like straight up by tagging you in the chats. Versus like
mhm,
the real world or like any other course where it's like flooded with people and templates and all this stuff. Like you don't really get the help you need. You don't get like any of that stuff. But with Beyond Copy, it's the communities. It's almost like a family. Like I
mhm.
can I get to know some people. Like people review my copy very often. They review like they leave me notes and all that stuff. So like it's good to go back to, I guess.
That's awesome. That's awesome, man. That, and I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad that's one thing that we've really tried to implement from the get-go is that making sure that we all help each other. It's something that we're going to touch on. Um I've hinted at it, like the ecology of everything and of the offer and of marketing and like just everything in general. So we really want to give back because we want for you guys, and we really hope you guys want for each other, not from each other, you know, so that we can all, give back to this game and you guys can get empowered to do more, like beyond what you guys were kind of like hooked before with. Because that was something that like we noticed pretty quickly when I was in HU pretty early. Like I think it was like less than 20,000. So it was like, yeah, it was like probably like 15. And yeah, I quickly saw that it got a little out of hand, and there wasn't much empowering going on. People just wanted to take. So that's one big thing that we wanted to make sure that the community was
Yeah, like
about
when you
helping each
take
other.
from the universe.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
balance in the universe. That's also like a key principle that kind of sticks in my mind now. Like it's the universe is a balance. You can't
Hmm.
keep taking. You
Yeah.
got to take, but you also got to give a lot.
Yeah, trust me, bro. I tried to cheat the universe. I did some Dark Lord shit and it like physically manifested. It manifests. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Um, so yeah, man. This is an awesome interview. Like I said, these are pretty quick. So I just have a couple more questions for you. And honestly, I really appreciate you, dude. Like everything. Even if you're like, oh, I should have said more about what no. Whatever you say, whatever is on your mind right now, it literally helps us beyond what you think. Like it helps us tremendously. So this was awesome. I really appreciate you booking this.
Yeah,
And I
no,
know time zones and times could be different and all fucking weird. So I really appreciate it, man. Um, okay, so then would you recommend this to other people, or would you recommend Beyond Copy to other people?
yes, I would.
Awesome.
Definitely, I would.
Who would you recommend it to?
Well, I guess I would recommend it to anybody, trying to get more out of like, their digital marketing, more out of writing copy and all that. Cause I know where I was, I was really struggling. And if somebody had like come to me before and said like, yo, you need to try this thing, like Beyond Copy, it's a new thing, I'm like, I should have probably done that earlier. But um yeah, I would definitely recommend it to like anybody really looking to get deeper into copy because like intrigue based TRW stuff. Like maybe that works for a bit, but after it's gonna wear out, like the audience isn't gonna be like buying and clicking on CTAs with like intrigue, like fully intrigue based. Like,
Mhm.
yeah.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. And then why would you recommend it to people?
Well, like when you pay like $50 on the real world or like 150, how much have you paid?
Mhm.
You expect to get a lot of value, but it is a lot of value, but I feel like Beyond Copy, like I paid $20, now the price has increased, but not that much more. I think it's like 50, right?
Mhm.
Um for $50, I mean the real world and like TRW, I mean the real world and BEC, like BC gives you far more value, like what your clients want to see out of you versus like TRW. It's closely knitted, so you can ask questions. If you ever need help with something, a project or something, ask somebody. Like you have no excuse. Go ask somebody in the chats. Like tag them, ask them in the chats. You have all the resources available to you. You have like advanced outreach courses. You have like 3-hour calls, whatever you want, like intent-based marketing. You got all these things. Like go use the resources.
That's awesome, bro. That's awesome. I'm I'm glad you're finding value out of it. That's why we do it for you guys, right? We want to make sure that you guys have enough tools, enough resources so you can pick a track that you want to go down, whether it's CMO, CRO, publishing, you want to continue the copy game, but at a higher level. You want to be a funnel builder, you want to be a media buyer, right? We got all that for you guys. So I'm really happy that you actually see value in it. So that's awesome, man. That's awesome. Now, I do have the hardest question for you, and I hope you're ready. This
Yes.
is usually where people take most of the time. So what are your thoughts on Chief and me?
Chief and you. Uh, I mean, you guys provide an immense amount of value. I mean, uh, what I think about Chief and you. Uh, that's a hard question.
Yeah, you could say whatever. You could be like, you guys talk too much. You guys are weird. I don't care.
No,
This is
I
literally
feel
to help us.
yeah, it's like it's great. Like you guys keep going deeper and deeper and deeper into layers. Like you introduce something surface level, dig deeper, dig even deeper and deeper and deeper until you hit like rock bottom, like solid.
Mhm.
You guys, I know it's 3-hour calls. You kind of let your mind go through and like keep spitting facts out there. Um, and yeah, it's hard to focus because like when there's so much value coming at you, it's hard to focus. But honestly, yeah, you guys have been like extremely helpful in this entire journey of mine. And I'm sure of like the other members of Beyond Copy as well, like definitely. Um, yeah, I don't know how else to answer that question.
That's it. Hey, man, that's fine. You can even say, bro, I don't like your laugh. I don't care. So, so, so yeah, man. Um, that was it. Like I said, short, simple. That was a lot like of awesome feedback for us to go through. And yeah, I can't appreciate you enough, man. So thank you so much for taking your time just to answer some of these questions and really help us like lay down a foundation of where we need to go and get everybody's feedback. And yeah, I appreciate you. I'm gonna be respectful of your time. I know time zones and it's all fucking
Fine.
different and weird.
Not that it's
But
only like 9:20 here. EDT.
look at that. So, but yeah, so I'm gonna let you go. But yeah, man, I can't stress it enough. We really appreciate you guys, and we just want to make sure that we're helping you guys to the best of our abilities. And just if you have any questions or anything, tag me in the chats. You could DM me. And yeah, man, thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you for BC, for all this knowledge, you and Chief and Ricardo.
Yeah, no problem, man. Hey, we're here for you. We want to make sure that we give back to you guys. So, hey, man, I'm just happy that you find value in it. So
Definitely. Yeah.
awesome, man. I'm gonna let you go, and you have a good one.
All right.
Later.
Thank you. You too.